Hey, greetings everyone. It is Planet Mitch. I am Planet Mitch. And it is. I used to have the logo up there in that corner, but now it's over in that corner. It is Giveaway Rocket. And. Oh, I just noticed there's an icon there for the volume. Ha! Anyway, just thought I would give you some updates. It's been a couple of days since I did a live. The giveaway Rocket Win Together program is. Hey, Sharita. Um, so my program's called Win, teaching you how to do contests and how to grow your business through lead generation. Long story there. But right now, what I'm doing is running our first version of what I'm calling Win Together, where we are getting people to learn how to do contests and generate their first contest and bring in some frickin' awesome leads. And we're a little bit behind from where I thought we might be, and I'm learning a lot in order to do the next one. And then from the next one, I'm going to be able to do even better the next time. And that's what you do. You generate things, you do testing, and you find out what works and what doesn't work, right? I found out that I give away, I put too much information out there, I think. What I need to do is simplify it a little bit, especially for the first timers. For people that are doing contests and giveaways multiple times, some of this is a good refresher and they're adding on to their knowledge. But some of the people are struggling. There are personal issues, there's business issues. We've had 20 people register for the Win Together program, and of those people, I have to think, we have 2 that have launched their contests. Is it 2 or 3? 3 that launched. Excuse me. 2 that are very close to it. 1 that decided to completely redo his business plan, and so he's backing off and not going to launch a campaign soon. But that's what happens, right? People find out things, they learn things through the process, and that's all goodness. That's the whole point, is to figure out a good way of doing things. In terms of updates, the very first contest Renya did, she was very happy with her campaign. I don't remember how many leads she got. Monica is in the middle of her first campaign, and she has reported, and I posted it yesterday because she gave kind of a glowing recommendation in that she's doing it for a client, and the client has already had sales from additional traffic that's come through the giveaway, even though we battled some spam issues and some people that were trying to cheat. But she also told me this morning that her client sold another $2,000 worth of merchandise yesterday, which she attributes to the giveaway, bringing in additional visibility into her business. So I think that says things are working. Allie launched her contest yesterday and already has 460 something leads. And most of those people are people that are in her Facebook groups. She has several Facebook groups where she has announced the contest, and she hasn't put it out anywhere else. And I was on her Facebook live feed this morning where she was telling the people in one of her groups about the contest and how well it's going. And they're a group of vendors, people who go to like local shows and try to sell things, whether they're candles or faux bouquets or anything that you would find at a local fair, kind of a thing. And Allie decided to do a $200, $250 prize of a tent for for a booth, which I think is very appropriate for her vendor market. And they're eating it up. And I watched some of the comments from the Facebook post that she did yesterday, as well as in the Facebook Live this morning. And the people in her group are just freaking excited about it. And they are already talking about where they're sharing and where they're posting the contest in order to try to get additional entries. So it's working really well for Allie. Her conversion rate's over 50%. She's getting something like 75% conversions on the people that already know her, which is understandable. And the referral conversions are something like 30%, which is phenomenal. So the referrals are the new people, the people that have not ever heard of her before or seen her business. And I mean, there could be a couple that maybe know her, but it's just more indication to me. And I'll also tell you that when I was talking to Monica this morning, she said she is convinced that giveaways are a fantastic way of growing new leads and bringing in new business. So those people that are actually launching their campaigns are having some good success. We're happy with that. I think one of the other guys is going to launch today or tomorrow. I'm not so sure that his is going to work so well. We're going to have to see, but I think he's got kind of a niche product, and so, with a niche product, it's interesting to see whether or not, and he doesn't have an existing clientele base. So those are the challenging ones, right? The ones that you hope will work, but we're not so sure what's going to happen yet. So I'm very happy with the way the Win Together program is going. I wish I had gotten some things done earlier, but that's the whole point of doing a beta program, is to figure out what works and what doesn't. And so I'm learning a lot on the way, and so are the people that are involved learning a lot. And Allie, for example, this morning was just so excited about how her contest is going, and the people in her groups are excited about it. And I've got people reaching out to me now going, "Hey, Mitch, how did you teach Allie how to do this? I want to have that same kind of success." So that's what we're all after, right? That's the whole goal of any of this, is to build your business and to make it fun and exciting so that you can bring in more sales and get your product out, because you're solving problems for people, right? That's probably the whole reason you're doing your business. Sure, you want to make a little money. Hi, and speaking of those people, here's Jennifer Lee. Jennifer just came in. Welcome, Jennifer. I have not been succeeding, but that's how life goes, right? Don't always have success. My cat's back there on my chair. But Jennifer met me this morning through Allie's group. So let's see what Jennifer has to say. I'm going to add that to the broadcast, and it's going to take up my whole window. I think this approach would be a great opportunity for my e-commerce business. I'm anticipating making changes to our website and the format of our newsletters and email marketing. Would you recommend I hold off and wait till those things are made, or move forward to collect emails in parallel? Great question. That is a fantastic question. And even if you caught the first part, so one of the gentlemen in the Win Together program from the current one, and we're going to start again in May, has decided to kind of rethink parts of his business, and he's delayed putting off his contest. And I and a couple other people in the group said, well, maybe you should rethink that. Maybe you can't see me because I got this big message here. I kind of think he's making a mistake, but everybody's choices are their own. What I advised him to do was that maybe he should continue to start and do giveaways in order to build his list, so that when he fully refines what he wants to do, then he's already got a starting point of people that are, I mean, he's telling us that his business plan is in the neighborhood of what he's kind of trying to refine it a little bit, but the people that he's already thinking about and potentially already after are people in the kind of the same neighborhood, maybe not just right on the right street or two. And so my suggestion to him was to go ahead and do a giveaway, get practice doing the giveaway, build your list so that when you actually figure out exactly what you want to do, unless it's a 180-degree difference, you've still got people on your list. So your question, Jennifer, I'm anticipating making changes to our website and the format of our newsletters and marketing. Would you recommend I hold off? My answer is hell no. I'll go back and give you my answer, all right? So what you don't know about me is that I still run, although I'm not doing a whole lot with it right now. I started a blog, a photography and video blog, back in 2008, 2009 is when it started. And it went really well. I was in the top 50,000 websites on the entire planet for a while. Highly popular website. And I was generating all my revenue through advertising, sidebar stuff. But I didn't understand the business well enough at the time to even start to build an email list. I didn't understand it. I didn't know how to do things. And so I didn't even start my email list till like 2013. I've forgotten exactly what the date was, but there's 3 or 4 years where I wasn't doing anything with an email list. And I saw one of my competitors, started building their email list and were giving away the free ebook thing. And within a year, they had around 100,000 people on their email list, and they were growing like crazy. So I'm late to that game, right? I mean, I started late. So what I'm trying to do is pass on the things that I've learned to you guys so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. And so my long-winded answer here, Jennifer, is there's no time like the present to start building your list. If you don't have one now, start it now. I'll go back and tell you the things that people don't realize. Number one, your email list is your number one asset. I mean, if you think about, and Jennifer, you might be, if you're in Allie's group, the vendor group, and you're doing vendor shows and people walk by your booth, you've got a lot of traffic, right? People walk by and they may be interested, maybe not. Maybe if they stop and look, maybe they'll look, maybe they're interested, but then they'll disappear, right? What's the best thing you can do is to get their email address so that you can talk to them later, right? So that you can keep going back to them over and over and educate them and get them to understand what your product is. Whereas if they just walk by and they're gone, then you don't have a chance unless they happen to come back and go, oh, well, I was thinking about that, and yeah, I'm curious about your product. So having an email list of people that show a vague interest, even if they unsubscribe later on, is a chance to hit those people again. And I don't mean hit, but, talk to them, build a relationship, get them to understand your products, your services, whatever. If they're gone, they're gone. If people come to your website, I think Allie mentioned this morning that she had talked to somebody yesterday when they were getting 3 or 4 people on their website a day, and they were hoping that those people were going to turn into sales. And Allie said, well, 3%, 1%, 2%, those kind of numbers are good for sales. So you got to get 100 people in order to make 2 or 3 sales, right? If you have them on your email list, then they're constantly there, right? They're and email open rates and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you listen to the industry gurus, and if you've listened to me before, you'll hear me say this often. The industry gurus say that an email address on an email list that you nurture, that you send regular emails to, should be worth $1 per revenue, $1 of revenue per month per email address. Okay, now let's think about that. People that walk by that you can't talk to anymore are worthless to you. They're gone. You've got them on your email list. They should be worth $1 per person per month. If you get 500 people on your email list, that's $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year, and they're still there constantly. You can still talk to them. Allie does all the time. She talks about her rabbit business and people on her email list, and they send, you send them Black Friday sales, you sell them Mother's Day sales, you talk to them about products that you have. Those people already shown interest in what you do. Why are you letting them walk away, right? If you have them on your email list, then you can talk to them. Now, not everybody opens their emails all the time. I get that. Some of it goes in spam. We get that. So it becomes a numbers game. But the marketing people say $1 per person per month is what you should be earning from your email list. The more people you have on your email list, the more sales you're going to have, right? I'm not talking about rocket science here. So let me go back. I think I'm answering you in a long-winded way. If you are getting people on your email list while you're building your website, and yes, that is my gut. I guess deep down I am a perfectionist and I wanted to be the best. You're looking at one of those people. I often beat myself up, which I try not to do too often, but I keep thinking to myself, much like you, Jennifer, that I have to have things all lined up and perfect, right? So the Win Together program, when I launched it, I don't have a web page for it. I ended up creating a page that I could send people to in order for them to see the offer, but it's only just a little bit of text and a button that says join. And it had a picture of a rocket behind it, right? So I got 20 people to sign up for my campaign, for my Win Together program. Paid people who paid me money to be in the program. Okay, one of them I gave for free, but that was a barter deal, and she's going to do something for me. But anyway, so people are invested in this program, but I didn't have the perfect page. I mean, in fact, most of the people that I got in the program was talking to them through Messenger, and I have Messenger over here on this side monitor. And that was answering questions much like you do at your shows, your vendor events. You answer questions, you talk to them, you get them to understand your product and stuff. But if you have them on your email list, then when you get your website ready, you can make a big announcement. Say, look, the website's ready. Or send it out before it's ready and say, hey, there's a sneak peek. I'm putting together my website. What do you think about this? And show them some images. And get some feedback. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities of things that you can do in your email to get people excited. So yes, you want them on your emails list today. Today. Not yesterday. Not 2 weeks from now. You want them on there today. So my advice to you, Jennifer, and I'm not just trying to get you in my program. I would tell this to anybody that asks me, based on my career of my website in 10 years. I waited for 3 or 4 years. The other people that started their email list and started offering a free ebook and stuff, they crushed me in terms of traffic and business within a year. Good part of that was they had an email list and they could constantly get people back to their website. 100,000 people on their email list within a year. They were bringing in revenue from selling ads on the emails and from getting traffic to their website for their sponsors and stuff. So the faster you can get your people on your email list, the faster you're going to grow your business. And yes, I know that a lot of people are all hot and heavy over text messaging. Although last time I saw somebody asking about marketing messages on text, everybody was like typing in, hell no, I don't want that. No, I don't want marketing via text. Facebook Messenger bots, on the other hand, people are pretty excited about because Messenger bots get a high open rate. much higher than email. But I can also, I have several things that I've signed up to in Facebook Messenger, and to some degree, I'm getting tired of those messages too. In an email world, there are times everybody opens their email, right? Everybody. There are some people that don't use email anymore, of course, but I think that I'll go back to, and I can pull this image up if you want, but it'll take me 2 seconds, but I think you can get the idea. A teacher in a United States school, and I don't know what grade level it was, but it was their 4th period class, had the kids, in the span of the entire period of class, note the number of notifications they got on their smartphone. I was surprised that Facebook wasn't number 1. Texting was number 1. So they marked in the categories of all the different kinds of different messages they got. Texting was number 1. Instagram was number 2. But number 3, for kids in an American school, young people, teenagers, number 3 was email. And I was stunned when I saw that. I was like, and I know that the conversation in the Facebook post was about the fact that these kids even had their smartphones in class, which is a whole nother topic. They shouldn't be having their smartphones in class. But in terms of notifications, email was number 3. Everybody keeps telling me email's dead. Nobody does email, Mitch. And open rates are down a little bit. But I can tell you that there are several newsletters that I open every day. They're daily. Some of them are weekly. The ones that are weekly, I open every frickin' week because they are appealing to me. They're interesting to me. They provide value to me. And there's a whole bunch of other junk that I'm on, and I understand I've subscribed to a whole bunch of stuff just like you have. But if you make your email newsletter interesting, people will read it. I'm looking for my book. My friend Tobin sent me this book. It's called Do/Open, How a Simple Email Newsletter Can Transform Your Business by David Hyatt. Fantastic book. I'm selling this. I'm advising. I don't sell it. I'm advising people to get this book because it's fantastic. Opened your eyes about how emails today can still be the vast majority of your business. I mean, how many of us have, and Sharita says, let me give 2 things that she said. I'm not a fan of text or messenger marketing. Email feels less invasive, and I think that's true. Many people are starting to feel that way. And I own several messenger bot things, and I keep trying to get people to sign up to my messenger bot things, and they just don't care. And Sharita says, I open newsletters as well. I'll post the link to this, my Amazon link to this after we're done. So I get a tiny little affiliate commission off of the book. But I keep this by my desk, not only because I recommend it, but because I periodically open it and I say to myself, hey, self, why aren't you doing a better job of nurturing people? I mean, this is my business, right? And I'm still doing, I confess, a poor job, I think, of getting really good content for my newsletter. Not everybody's perfect, right? We all have things to work on. But I do firmly believe that something like a newsletter in your business, once you have them, if you hook them, then you have to reel them in, right? You have to give them training. You have to educate them. I shouldn't say have to. It will work better for you if you educate people. I have people that I've run contests for, paid me to run contests, and I've added thousands of people to their email list, and I'm now on their email list, and only thing I ever get from some of those companies is, hey, we're having a sale, buy our stuff. Hey, we have a new product, buy our stuff. They don't educate me in between. They don't educate me in between. They don't tell me why I should be buying their products, which is criminal. I think it's criminal that people just go, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Because I guess it works. I mean, spam works, right? People still send spam because why? People must be buying something from their links. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. I mean, people ask me, well, why do I get spam? Why do I get unsolicited emails from people? It works. Somebody's buying stuff from those people. Might not be you, but, I mean, you know, all kinds of people must be buying stuff off of spam because we still get spam. I don't like spam. Nobody likes spam. And by the way, please don't be one of those people that signs up for something and then decides they don't want to get the email anymore, so they mark it as spam. It's not the right thing. Unsubscribe. Don't be ticking a box that says this is spam just because you don't want it anymore. Or maybe you signed up for a contest and you check the box that says, yes, I want to receive a newsletter, and then you decide you don't want it, so then you call it spam. It's not spam. You signed up for it. Just unsubscribe. There's my editorial preaching for the day. Hi, Mandy. Sharita says, love good value-filled webinar first. And I don't do webinars. I start doing webinars because I have a lot of stuff to teach, but I have also, you know, I have to feed my family, those people over there. That's my daughter, by the way. That photo, right? I can't get my finger to work. That's my daughter. I took that photo. She's a dancer. Was a dancer. Mandy says, thank you for sharing this. You don't want to know how many emails I have. We all do. Or do you mean on your list? I'll work on this. I don't have a big business per se, but I have posted my sales page for Avon on Facebook more often. Educational letter is good, and through email. Yes. I mean, if you're in a program like Avon, I mean, I know my wife's in Plexus, right? I know it's difficult sometimes to find people that are interested in your products. And we all get a little tired of just posting on Facebook thinking that you know, our friends and family are going to buy our stuff. Doesn't always work that way. So building an email list is a great way to find new people, right? Now, you know what I'm going to say, right? Who knows what I'm going to say next? How do you build your email list, right? What's the best way to build your email list in my book? Not my book. I don't own this book. I mean, I didn't write this book. My book is going to be about what? Sharita, what am I going to write my book about? Yes, contests. Now, so you're out there struggling, Mandy, to build your email list. And it depends. I mean, if you're talking purely about Avon, I don't know what Avon's policies are. Yes, Sharita says, there are delays, right? Thank you. Sharita says the magic word. Da-da-da! Contests, that's right. In Connie's case, my wife's case, Plexus specifically says, we want to be fair for all of our ambassadors, and therefore we don't want you running a contest where you give a bunch of stuff away about our products, because there are some ambassadors that don't have the ability or can't afford to do that, and therefore it's not fair. I disagree with that particular policy because I think it's law of supply and demand. And if you're willing to spend money on product to get people on an email list, then that should be your business. I could argue with them all day long about that, but it's their policy. But Avon may allow you to do contests where you give away Avon products. Or maybe, like in my wife's case, when we tried to do that, we gave away something similar, kind of in the neighborhood, to build our email list. And therefore, the whole idea of doing the contest, the way we do contests, the way I teach you to do contests, is to do the viral sharing kind of contest where you get your friends to share with their friends and to get them to sign up to your email so that you can educate them. Those are the people that you wouldn't normally be able to get to except for this thing called word of mouth. Have you ever heard of that? I'm sure you have. Yes. It's one of the oldest forms of marketing ever made. It goes all the way back to when people tried to sell their products in flea markets and town markets and what do you call those things? Not flea markets, but food markets and stuff. But hey, did you see Joanne over here has the best plums ever? Her plums are better than Paula's plums. Go buy them from Joanne. Or Sharita's plums are better than... So, word of mouth, right? Word of mouth has validity, and it gives you, if you're Joanne or Sharita or whoever has the good word of mouth, gives you some boost for your little rocket to get you to sell more stuff. So doing viral contests brings in people that you never, ever, ever would have had access to. Now, not everybody's going to buy. Not everybody's going to sign up for your email list. Not everybody's going to be interested in your stuff. But if you're using other people to do marketing for you, that's basically free-ish, why wouldn't you want to be doing that as opposed to just purely paying Facebook or Google or whatever, if you're even paying for those kind of ads? And maybe with Avon, you can't do those kind of ads on Facebook. There are certain businesses. My wife can't do Plexus because it's supplements. Although I've been told that if you read the fine print really carefully and you do all the things that Facebook tells you to do, you can actually do Facebook ads for supplements. But who has time to go do that, right? But you can do contests because you're not paying for ads on Facebook. People will share a contest for something that is quote-unquote banned, and you can still do that kind of stuff without paying Facebook ads for those things, and that's okay. So you're using other people to post on their timeline to get marketing for you. I was working with a guy last night who's doing CBD oil. Another hot product in the multi-level marketing game. And there's nothing wrong with multi-level marketing. If you are in that business, it works. As long as you're not doing a pyramid scheme, you're okay. There's nothing wrong with having people helping you build your business. Works great. So I'm not saying anything negative about multi-level marketing. There's quite a few good ways of doing that. But most of those people think, most of MLM people think that you have to do all of this, hey, come to me and my Facebook and just promote the hell out of it on Facebook. Contests are a great way of getting other people to help you do that. I mean, even if you have somebody that the other side of that is, okay, people enter your contest and they say, well, I don't want to share on Facebook because then I feel like I'm spamming my friends. If you make it fun, if you make it interesting, if it's a product that appeals to them, a good number of people, I can't even say the majority because some people just don't want to share. That's okay. But there are people that do want to share. I'll give you another example. Really wild case. I got all kinds of examples. I I've talked about it before, but David with the Bunkie, if you haven't heard me talk about that, David has this, basically, picture a treehouse, a really fancy treehouse that has room for a bed and a couch and some windows. Put it on the ground. Doesn't have electricity, doesn't have plumbing, doesn't have a heater. Basically, a treehouse on the ground. $6,000, $7,000 product. It's a really nice product for people that want to go camping but don't want to have a tent, you know. Maybe you have some property where you want to just get away to the property and have a couple of nights where you just have a kind of a camping kind of a deal. Anyway, he did a giveaway of one of his bunkies. He calls them bunkies. 32,000 leads he gathered. 32,000 leads he gathered in 3 weeks. Let me say that again. 32,000 leads for a $6,000 product. Now, you don't have to give away a $6,000 product. Allie's proving that right now. She's giving away a $250 product, and she already has 400 and something leads. And she's going to be doing that campaign for an entire month or 3 weeks or whatever. Now, here's the kicker. David's campaign, the Bunkie campaign, brought in $340,000 in revenue. Let me give you the cash register there. $340,000 in revenue off of a contest. Yes, he gave away a $7,000 product. He sold $340,000 worth of product by having a sale right after the contest was over. He said, all right, you didn't win, but here's $1,000 off your next Bunkie. $340,000 in sales. It's not going to work exactly the same way for everybody, obviously. But now he's got 32,000 people interested in his product that he can go market to day in and day out. Sharita says, I used to think I was spamming family and friends. That is until someone asked me what I did for a living. I realized by not sharing, I completely cut myself off. Yes, Sharita. Why do you think I'm doing this Facebook Live on my timeline? Facebook says, don't do marketing on your timeline. I'm sorry. I should be doing this in my group or privately in my Facebook page, right? But it's really hard to get to people that have, you know, that's only for people that have signed up for what you're doing. And that's okay, but I want to reach a bigger audience. I want to reach people who are trying to run a business, and I have a whole lot more people on my timeline than I do in my groups or in my pages. So I'm sorry, Facebook. And bless your heart, yes, thank you. I do mention my products, but Sharita says you aren't marketing, you're educating. That's right. That's my goal, is to educate people. And I will start doing that with webinars. But, of course, I want to sell something to feed my family at the end, because I know, you know, that getting leads, targeted leads, is a great way of doing it. And we all have to feed our families. And so the more people that you can share your message with, the more income you can provide, the more you can share your message again, right? It kind of replicates itself. Why be sorry? Well, I'm not really sorry, but that's a great question. And it's a problem that most of us struggle with, selling. I went to a very big class in October last year. It cost me a lot of money to get into that class. And it's still difficult sometimes to ask people for money. I would like to be doing better than that. I know a lot of people that sell high-ticket items that don't have any qualms about asking for $3, $4, $5,000 for what they're offering. And frankly, the people that are in my Win Together program right now gotten an insane bargain based on the 10 hours of content that I've produced, and it's still not over. The lessons that I have shared with them are easily worth $2,000. And I'm tooting my own horn, but here I give you that example again. If you missed it, Monica, who's running a contest for a client who's in the Win Together program, just told me this morning that her client sold $2,000 in product yesterday that she attributes to the contest. And she's only been running her contest for 6 days. So I'm not making this stuff up. People are having success. Not everybody's success. Not every business is perfect for this. Brent's here. Brent's one of the people in my campaign, in my Win Together program. I can't stay, but how does the UTM work in UpViral? Man, you're getting really technical. I'm using Funnelytics to generate my UTM values, but does turning the UTM on and off in UpViral affect this? No, doesn't affect that at all, Brent, if you're still there. I'll answer via text afterwards in case you disappeared. And I wish I could see who's here and who isn't. I'll answer that for you. The brief answer is, if you're still here, the brief answer is turn UTM on in UpViral. The only thing that really does for you is, and this is in the advanced settings, is it adds UTM codes for the sharing process. So for people that are doing Facebook, Twitter, those kind of things, it's adding UTM codes to that. So that when it comes back in, you can do campaigns and stuff inside of Google Analytics. Excuse me. It doesn't mess up your Funnelytics stuff, Brent, so don't worry about it. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay, and I apologize, but that's kind of a really detailed question. Mandy says, I have a heart for fundraising, and that's where I am right now in my heart. And good for you. Fundraising is great activity. Doing a giveaway can certainly help in that endeavor. I haven't done anything with that personally. And you kind of have to be careful with the legal side of it because you don't want to be implying to anybody that donating is going to give them chances to win, because that becomes a lottery and that's illegal. So you have to be careful with the legalities of running a contest to do fundraising activities. Maybe you could do a contest to give away tickets to a fundraising event where, you know, maybe somebody has to buy into the event. That doesn't mean that you're set, you know, you're not requiring money in order to be entered into the contest. That's the key issue. In the United States, it's against the law. Well, let me rephrase that. It becomes a lottery, and lotteries are regulated out the wazoo. So you have to be really careful to not say something like, you know, if you buy a ticket to this event, then you're entered in this contest. Because that's making people buy something to be entered in the contest is against the law. Or it's a lottery, and therefore you have to be careful. So be careful with fundraising activities. But there are ways to get around that, right? I mean, you could give away prizes once you have them on your email list. And of course you can say, hey, we're doing fundraising. We want you to donate money. Give us money, give us money, give us money. Whatever. Once you have them on your list. And theoretically, the prizes that you give away in your contest are going to be appealing to somebody that would potentially donate money. Whew. Which is part of what we really talked about a lot in the Win Together beginning process, is the planning side of it, picking the right prize to get people interested in your contest. Allie's found a great prize in her case, where she's talking, her business is about vendors who are doing shows, many of them outdoor shows. So why not offer a tent to cover people up from the sun and protect their products from rain and sun and everything else? It's a great prize that's very appealing. It doesn't appeal unless families or something are going to be doing a outdoor event of some kind that doesn't have to do with vendors. So it's all about picking the right offer. Mandy says, I'm just amazed at all of those things that others do and desire to promote other endeavors. Not sure I totally understand that, but there are people that are doing things that aren't appropriate, absolutely. Which gives contests and other fundraising activities a bad name in some cases. I go back to the example I've talked about before, where I saw a giveaway right before the holidays. Somebody was offering $500 and had a picture of Santa Claus and a suitcase with money flowing out of it. Had no indication of who the business was, why you were giving your email address, what the rules were, anything else. And I shared it on my timeline, and an image of the contest. And I said, how many of you would enter this? And surprisingly, I don't remember any kind of percentage, but it was typically most people said, heck no. But there were several people that said, well, yeah, I'd enter that. I want to win $500. And I said, okay, how do you know somebody's going to win that money? When's the prize draw? Who's sponsoring the contest? And they all went, no, I don't have a clue. So, well, you just gave up your email address to a scammer, because nobody's ever going to win that prize. You have no clue. There were no rules. There was no information. And I find that reprehensible, but there are people out there doing that. And of course, that makes people less interested in entering contests. That's why I hate it so much, because I want people to create contests that are very valuable, that provide great content, great prizes, great opportunities, and make them fun. That's it. One of the other things that David did in his Bunky contest was he made it fun. There were so many people having so much fun. David did 5 or 6 live events during the contest. Sent out emails to people and said, hey, I'm going to go live. And guess what? I'm going to have a secret word. And in the live, you can listen for the secret word and then enter that in the contest and get more chances to win. I mean, he did all kinds of awesome stuff. Smart guy. And I gave him some advice, and he came up with that smart secret word all by himself. There's lots of fun things that you can do to make your contests more interesting. Most people, especially when they start out, and it's okay because they don't understand, but they just put up a boring page, and I'm guilty of this. In fact, I'm trying to work on one right now for my wife, and it's just a simple contest, and I'm okay with that because I'm testing what I'm doing. I know there are plenty of ways of making it much more fun and more appealing and more interesting. But I also know what I'm doing, so I'm prepared for the results that I'm going to get, and I'm doing it partially to help her business, and I'm doing it partially to get experience and to show other people what can be done. Anyway, I have to scroll down. I have no clue, Mandy, what Tribond on Shine means. Amazed at things that others do to promote other endeavors. I'll have to look that up later, or you can give me a link, but I have no idea what that is. Sorry. I assume what you're trying to say is that those people aren't doing good things. And I know there are plenty of people that do contests all the time, and they never win the prize, or give away the prize. People do that. It's terrible. It's terrible. And there's I've seen so many contests on Facebook, contests where they're, don't fall for this one. Hey, we're giving away $100,000 motorhome, and they show these great pictures of this motorhome. Like our page, share our page, comment below, and share this with your friends. 2 weeks later, the page is no longer. I mean, if you bookmark it, you'll see what happens. I mean, there's no history. There's no other data below it. But they get 100,000. I've seen 100,000, 150,000 people like the page and share it like crazy all over the place. And then a couple of weeks later, if you bookmark the page, it's now for something inappropriate, or they've switched the whole thing over. All they were doing was getting you to like the page, and so they could turn around and sell the page to a business and say, look, here's a page that's got 150,000 followers. Don't you want to pay me $20,000, $30,000, whatever for the page? Don't fall for that crap. Pay attention to what you're doing if you're entering contests. Make sure they have terms and conditions. Make sure they're a legitimate business. Look for prior winners if they've done giveaways before. If you're doing a giveaway and you've done one before, get photos from the people that won the prizes. Get testimonials. Get social proof that you're actually giving away the stuff that you're giving away. Anyway, thanks for those of you who tuned in. You can tell I get wound up about this. If you're still here, I do have another Win Together program starting May 1st. It is not free. I apologize. I'm apologizing again. It's not free, but the knowledge that you gain is incredible. I toot my own horn, but I can't. I was going to say everybody that's taken it. Well, it's the first time I've ever offered it. Not everybody has been a success because the vast majority of them have not gotten off their tookuses enough to get their projects done. And that's okay. Not everybody is going to be successful, and I don't always get everything done that I say I'm going to do either, I confess. I'm human, after all. But I also give a guarantee that if you're not satisfied at the end, I give you your money back. And you will be satisfied, I guarantee it. In fact, you're going to say, holy crap, Mitch, you should have charged me $2,000 for that because the amount of knowledge that I gain. And let's go back to the numbers. Let's suppose you get 500 people in your campaign. Let's make it 200. Let's make it 100 people. Let's make it really crazy. Let's suppose you only get 100 people in your campaign when you're done. And of course, you're going to do it again and again and again once you learn how to do it, right? So let's suppose you get 100, and after 12 months, that's worth $1,200, right? If you're marketing to them on a regular basis, and you do a good job of selling, that's $1,200 that you didn't have at the beginning of the year or the beginning of the program. And what I'm asking for the program for this coming year, this coming session, is a fraction of that. It's a fourth of that. So, I mean, I think it's a crazy bargain. I really think it ought to be a $2,000 program. And I'm tooting my own horn, I confess. I had a mentor a couple of months ago say to me, hey, Mitch, how much time have you spent learning how to do this? And I said, well, I started 5 years ago, and I wasn't really that hot and heavy with it till about 3 years ago. And from then on, probably 10, 20 hours a week. And recently it's full-time. It's 60 hours a week if you listen to my family. Probably more than that. And, okay, so what if you charged $100 an hour for that time? How much would that knowledge be worth? And I calculated it's well worth over $2 million of knowledge at $100 an hour. Okay, even if it's $25 an hour, which is insanely cheap if you were hiring me to do it, that's still, what, $500,000 of time and investment in learning how to do contests, and I'm teaching you how to do the stuff that I'm doing for a tiny fraction in that. All right, I'm going to give you the marketing pitch, Mandy. I cannot afford to invest in programs for training. This is not, number one, it's not training. It is, I am teaching you how to do something, but you're doing the work. You're not just learning how to do it in my program. You're not just thinking to yourself, oh, I'll do this someday. Monica, Allie, Kevin is starting his campaign today. I've talked about him. Renita did hers a couple of weeks ago. She started early. Monica's client has already said she's earned over $3,000. I'm sorry, $2,500. I'm confirmed in income from starting her campaign, and that was just a week ago. She's actually making sales that she attributes to this. So let's suppose that you invest in my program and it's $397, and you can make $1,000 in the next 2 months by actually doing it. It's not just freaking learning, it's doing. We are building campaigns. I'm reviewing them, showing you what to change, how to make it better. Let's suppose you make $500 in the next 2 months, or it pays for itself. And if you're not happy, you don't get results, I'll give you your freaking money back. So I firmly believe, and I know my sales training people tell me what you need to say to somebody like Mandy, who raises that issue, is that, what is it going to cost you not to do this? Okay, if you don't do this, and I'm not trying to hard sell you here, because it's just, I'm not yet trained really comfortable, but I'm providing you evidence of people that are actually getting results. And I can't guarantee results, obviously, because every business is different. But if you don't take advantage of this, where are you going to be 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now? You're still going to be struggling, I believe, to get income. So there you go. And I understand this one. This one's tough, and I am sorry to hear this. Mandy, my husband was out of work for 8 years. We lived homeless. That's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. We don't have the cash, honestly. I understand. I understand that. Let's have a conversation, Mandy. Private message me, and let's see if we can figure out some way of getting you involved and helping your business. I won't guarantee anything will come of it, but we need to talk. I'm not trying to hard sell you. I don't want to take your money if you don't really firmly believe that this can help you. And maybe there's something that we can do. Just private message me and let's have a conversation. Because my whole goal, I mentioned before, my whole goal is to help people grow their business. I still have to feed my family in order to make that happen. If I can't feed my family, then I can't help other people. But I'm firmly convinced that this can help. Firstly, and I'll give you another example that I turned down. Okay, she turned me down. I had a young lady that lives in England, and I still think I could have helped her, but I don't. Anyway, she didn't want to go that direction. So she is teaching fire breathing, right? Sword swallowing and fire breathing and doing those kind of shows. So she's teaching people how to do that activity. And she has classes that she wants people to get in. And so she asked me, could I do a giveaway for that? Could I build an email list? And the answer is yes. But in terms of doing the up viral, the kind of campaigns that I do, would it work? And I said, well, first of all, you're trying to teach people physically in a small location. Okay, granted it was London. But how many people are in that niche in London? You've got a really hard niche to go after. But the whole thing of doing a contest the way we do it is to get other people to share, right? To do viral sharing, to get people to share it. And some people who may be interested in learning how to swallow swords and do fire eating probably aren't going to share it on their Facebook timeline saying, hey, anybody else want to join me for this class? Maybe they would, but the numbers are not going to be significant. It's going to be very different because it's a local business and it's something that's really, really unique. So it may not be the perfect thing for every business. Now, what I suggested to her was that what she ought to start doing is to turn that into a group event. Companies are always looking for those kind of team building or buddy building or kind of events where they can take a group of people to something and teach them how to be better friends and how to work together better. I said, if you took that as an event and more people would be interested in potentially sharing that, maybe they don't want to learn fire breathing for a hobby, but it might be really fun to have a business event wrapped around that training. That would be more appealing to a large group. Many businesses would love to share that and say, well, look, we did this team building event, and this was a blast. It's something that nobody would ever do. I remember going to an event in Salt Lake City. I had to come up with a name. It was a convention, and they took everybody to the Olympic ice skating rink as part of the event. Now, I never would have probably done that on my own, but I did curling. They had a team there that was teaching you how to do curling, where they roll the big rock down the ice. That was a blast. I never would have thought of doing that on my own. But as a team building or as a group event, that was fabulous. Had a lot of fun. And so I think you could do some viral marketing with that kind of an event, which is different than what she was wanting to target her thing. So I was trying to tell her, maybe this thing isn't going to work, but maybe you could do that thing. Anyway, there's potentially different ways of using tools to get people excited about stuff. And I've talked about contests, but you could also do referral marketing. You can just base it on, hey, Betty Lou, have you heard about this? And give rewards for people who bring new leads to you. So it doesn't have to be, hey, win this big super prize or small super prize. Anyway, people are still here. Thank you for tuning in. Mandy, I think we can do something. Let's talk. For those of you who are here and are still interested, private message me if you want to know more about the Win Together program. If you want to see some examples of what people are doing, I can share links with you. I'll share the link when I get it ready for my contest for OI Life. I still haven't finished. She and I have to talk. Let me know what you need to know. I've gone rambling for an hour because I love talking about this stuff. I'm passionate about it, as you can tell. I believe that it can really improve businesses. I mean, if you could have seen Allie talking about her contest this morning that she's got 460 leads for, she's pretty freaking excited. And that's only within 24 hours. Her goal is 3,000 leads, and I think she'll hit that easily. Not every contest is going to be that way. I'm currently averaging, as a side plug, 30 or 4,000 leads per contest. I've had some real low numbers. I've had some real high numbers. My big one was 52,000 leads. So it's all over the place. It depends upon what you're offering, what your business is, what your market is, how many leads you currently have, how much you can spend on marketing if you're going to do marketing. There's all kinds of parameters and things that you need to take into consideration. But as Sharita said, I'm trying to educate you. I mean, even if you never do anything with me, please consider learning how to do a contest. And at least do it well. Don't do what some people have done where they just throw up a contest and say, well, I think I'm going to give away an iPad. And your business is fundraising, for example, for a charity, a specific charity. Giving away an iPad for a charity is the wrong freaking idea. So you might get a lot of leads. I give you another example. Business that I spoke to last year told me, well, we don't need you, Mitch, because we just did our own giveaway and we got 100,000 leads. I said, great, that's fantastic. I'm thrilled to hear it. I'm glad you don't need me. That's okay. What did you give away? Now, this was a photography/video company that sells accessories. So, photography gear, filmmaking gear. I said, what did you give away to get that many leads? He said, well, we gave away a trip to Iceland. I said, okay. How does that pertain to your business? Well, photographers love Iceland. That's where they want to go to take great photos. I'm like, okay, great. How many of those people that signed up on your list were grandma and grandpa that had a dream to go to Iceland? Are they ever going to frickin' buy your photography gear? No. They're not going to buy your sliders and your fancy frickin' gear. They just want to go to take pictures with their iPhones. That's not the right group of people. Maybe it's a newlywed couple that wants to win a trip to Iceland. You picked the wrong prize. If you had picked a prize where maybe it was a photography tour where you were going to do specific places. Maybe it was a filmmaking tour. You train with some training involved. Maybe that's the right prize, but your numbers are going to go way down. You're not going to have 100,000 people enter. And that's okay. I don't want people to do a giveaway just to get 100,000 names. I want people to do a giveaway and they get 100 names, but those people are going to potentially buy from them. I don't care about the numbers. What I care about is people that get highly targeted leads that they can try to turn into buyers. That's what we're after. We're not after the big numbers. The big numbers are sexy, sure. Big numbers are great. I know one guy that did a contest for 230,000 people. They didn't buy anything from him afterwards. Big deal, 230,000 people. They were there for the freebie. That's a whole nother topic. I won't get into that one. If you make it fun, if you have a prize that is really appealing to your target market. I'll give you another example for those of you who haven't heard it before. Bradley, good friend of mine who is in the giveaway/marketing business, he's a consultant, had a client who was in the survival niche, people who wanted to avoid dying when the big bomb hits or whatever. I don't make fun of them. They're good people. They want to be able to survive if something bad happens, right? They did several contests, and eventually they figured out that a $49 flashlight, super bright halogen flashlight with great super duper battery power, would last for weeks or whatever. $49 prize brought in the most leads, highly targeted leads. Doesn't have to be a massive $2,000 prize. Allie's giving away a $250 prize. She's already got 460-something leads in 24 hours. What does that cost her? A little simple math. Okay, quick math, maybe 50 cents a lead. And that's going to go way the heck down. If she gets to 3,000 leads and she's giving away a $250 prize, her cost to get those leads is tiny, right? Mandy says, big numbers are nice, though. It can help a ton of people. Exactly. I mean, we all would love the big numbers, but we want them to be targeted numbers. We don't want big numbers for big numbers' sake, is what I'm trying to say, and I think you understand that. Yes. The 52,000 leads that I did for my camera friend were people who were interested in winning a camera. We had a $2,300 camera. He got 52,000 leads for a $2,300 prize. That's dirt cheap in terms of leads. And we did zero advertising. We paid nothing for advertising. Granted, he spent $2,300 on a prize. Got 52,000 leads out of the deal. Now, he had a big audience. He had a website that has a lot of traffic. And frankly, I think we could have gotten 150,000 leads, but he didn't want to spend any money. He didn't want to do anything special. He got 52,000 leads just by posting it on his blog and posting it on Facebook, I think, 2 or 3 times. He has a big audience, so he was going to get the big numbers. And now he can sell to those people. He can sell them all kinds of stuff. And he rents his lists for 52,000 people for several $1,000s to people that want to get to his audience. Advertisers want that. So he's made his money multiple times over from his $26,000, $23,000 thing plus my fee. I did charge him a fee. So anyway, now there's even more people here. I keep talking because people keep showing up. If you have any questions, I'm certainly willing to answer questions. We've had several awesome questions today. Really appreciate it. If you are interested in learning how to do a giveaway, also, if you are already, I know some of you in the audience, like Brent that was here earlier, learning how to do his contest, but he's thinking about doing them for other people. If you have any interest in doing it as a consulting business, let me know, because I have a new group starting up. I announced it yesterday, created the group last night, and we are going to do some awesome stuff in terms of how do you use this service as an agency, as a company who sells this as a service. And I'm also going to be doing a couple of masterminds. So one of the things that's come out of the Win Together program is how awesome it is to be on a call. Several of the calls that we have done have not been me teaching. They have been all of us together talking about the campaigns, learning from each other about what works and what doesn't work, or what they need in their business. And so from that, I know, I'm confident, I've known it for a long time, I just haven't done it, that a mastermind would help many people. And so I'm starting up some masterminds too. If you're interested in that, if you've stuck with me all the way through this, or just tuning in, and you want to get involved in either the agency program or one of the masterminds, I'm going to do one for, I think I'm going to try to do a mastermind for beginners. Or I'm going to get you in my membership, in which we'll do mastermind as part of that. I haven't quite figured that out, but I need to talk to some people to find out what they want. Or if you're already an expert at doing giveaways and are interested in doing a mastermind, let me know. So, I haven't seen any questions pop in. This has been a wonderful, wonderful time talking to you guys. Hope I've helped you understand a little bit about what I do and how I can help you. And even if you don't need to / want to be able to afford me, keep listening. I got some free assets that you can get if you want. If you go to giveawayrocket.com/gift, you can get in my membership. You'll get a free gift of an ebook, 10 Things to Avoid in Contest Marketing, as well as my free UpViral course, which is I don't know. I never timed it out. It's like 12 different modules because it's like 2 hours of training for free. If you want that, you can get that at giveawayrocket.com/gift. Thank you, Mandy, for your kind words. You all are working so hard. I'm impressed and thankful for your hearts. Bless you. Bless you. Sharita, I'm surprised that I haven't gotten you in there before. Maybe I haven't said it often enough. giveawayrocket.com/gift. Get it now. The UpViral training, the free UpViral training, is very specific. It doesn't have... I'm getting warm. It's finally springtime here in St. Louis. The free UpViral training is very specific. It doesn't have a lot of the planning stuff in it. It's kind of just the physical manual stuff of going through building a contest. And if you're not ready for that part yet, maybe it's not going to help you. But there's other free stuff in there. You know what I should have? I had it for a while. I don't know. What is this? I don't think this is the right thing. Oh, that was the logo. I used to have something. If I do this, what is it? Oh, there it is. I do have it. giveawayrocket.com/gift. There you go. There's my marketing. Big free things. giveawayrocket.com. I need to do more of that, don't I? Because I need people in. I need people learning. I need to share more. And yes, Sharita from earlier, I gotta do some webinars. I mean, today was a webinar, basically. I didn't do a whole lot of marketing at the end, but I think you understand if you've spent the whole hour with me. And bless you too. Thank you, Mandy. If you've been with me the whole hour, thank you so much for paying attention. I'm always interested in feedback. If you have ways that I can improve, tell me. I'm happy to hear that. If you don't want to post it publicly below in the comments, send me a private message. I've got plenty of things to learn and plenty of things to share. And I'm happy to get some feedback, which is primarily one of the reasons why I'm doing the giveaway the Giveaway Rocket Win Together program, is to get feedback so I can make it better, because I want to get more people doing it, because I'm convinced, as you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about this. And let me get rid of that message and share this one. Sharita, I think you're absolutely right. Thank you for your kind words. You're really inspiring some great ideas. Thank you. I hope so. That's my plan. The more I watch, the more I understand. That's part of the difficulty in what I'm doing, which is why I need to be doing more webinar kind of things. Not just to sell, right? Not just to make income so I can feed my family, but because I want to do the education side of it. That's what really so far has floated my boat when doing the Win Together program. I get really excited about helping people. I get excited about getting to see what they think, what they're doing, and to share the things I've learned. It's the education side of it that I really enjoy. And I've shown it before. I have a post-it here on my desk that says, how can I help? That's where I'm focusing. I want to help people grow their business. That's my whole thing. Because if I help people, then they feel good, they grow, they get their message out, and that's what I feel good about. But part of it is that education side. People, I'll give you the example of Jenna Apgar, and she and I still need to reconnect because I failed to finish something with her. But she told me time and time again, because she would tune in every now and then to one of my lives, and she kept telling me privately, she said, well, Mitch, contests just don't work. I've tried them before. They just don't work. And I finally, bless her heart, she was open. And I did 2 sessions with her, an hour and a half each. We did them live on Facebook. Took her through the planning process. At the end of the planning process on 2 live shows, almost 3 hours, I said, okay, we've just spent 2.5, 3 hours doing planning. When you did your contest before that you told me didn't work, did you do this much planning? She said, no, I just threw a prize, came up with the idea for a prize and threw it up there. I used one of the free tools, and it didn't work. I didn't get high quality targeted leads. I said, what do you think now? She said, well, now that I understand the things that go into creating a good contest, I know a whole lot more, and I feel a lot more positive about doing a contest. I know what I need to do. But it's that education piece that I'm really trying to address with this example, Sharita, is that unfortunately these people have had bad experiences, or they've seen other people that say, oh, don't do contests, you're going to get really bad leads. They're bad. Contest leads are bad. All people want is free stuff. How do you like my accent, which I have no idea where that's from? Yeah, it's bad. And there's a guy, Sean, who appears often, and maybe Sean will see this and he'll comment. But Sean is in an interesting business, and he and I have discussions all the time about whether or not he's getting the right kind of leads, because he says people don't buy once he gets them on his list. And I continue to ask him this question. I said, okay, let's suppose you take all the giveaway people out of your list, the people that came to you through giveaways. Are those people buying? And his answer is no, typically. And I'm like, okay, Sean, so if it's not, if contest people came in and you're saying that they're only there to try to win the free stuff, but you also tell me that the people that aren't contest people aren't buying your stuff, then it's not the contest that's the problem. It's what you're offering is not exciting the people that you have on your list. You either don't have the right people, or you don't have the right product, or a combination of both. So there's an incongruency there. And I do know that there are plenty of people that enter contests just to win something. And that's okay. You can't please the entire audience. You can't just always get down to the people that are only interested in your stuff. Not the way the world works. So what you do is you encourage the people that aren't there to buy your stuff to get off your list once they got on it. That's okay. Get them off. You've heard me talk about that before. Mandy says, I get really nervous and doing a webinar would be really hard. I'll leave that to the experts. Let me tell you, Mandy, it's easy. All you got to do is practice. Just do it. Now, I have been doing live stuff for 7, 8 years. I mean, I did film stuff. I did recorded stuff for a long time for my blog, my photo video blog. And I started doing live stuff in probably 2015, and I do a lot of practice in the background. I practice talking to myself, which is a tip that I got from Brendon Burchard. In order to sound better, right? In order to not do a whole bunch of ums, which I still know I do ums, and I hear myself do them just about every time. But, frankly, live is where a lot of the business is. And therefore, I would encourage you to just start. I'll tell you what Sharita says. They get easier and easier the more you do them. Absolutely correct. I mean, I have just spent, an hour and 24 minutes and 12 seconds, 13, 14. And normally, I mean, I have a little counter here that says there are X number of people live right now. Now, I don't know if that number is really right, because sometimes it says 0 and people are commenting. And so I don't have total faith in that number. And I want that number to be in the hundreds, but it's not in the hundreds. It's in the single digits, okay? But there are some times where there's 0 people showing there, and I get a little frustrated because nobody's commenting and nobody's saying anything, and they go in and out. That's okay because I talk, but I'll cut it off after 10 minutes if nobody shows up. But then when there are people here, I just keep going. I did one Monday that was an hour long, and people kept showing up, so I kept talking. And obviously today we're at an hour and 25 minutes, and you've been interacting, and that's been awesome. Mandy and Sharita and Brent asked the question earlier. That's what I like doing. I enjoy the conversation. I really love getting on a Zoom call where there's 5, 6, 10 people showing up and we have conversations. And most of my live things that I've been doing for the Win Together program last 2 hours because we keep talking about things that are exciting and fun. But I missed Mandy. Mandy said, catch you later, breakfast is calling. Me too, Sharita says. And I appreciate you being here for the whole time, Sharita. Thank you so much. I think I had a similar experience in the past, but much like your friend, I see the difference in working with a targeted niche versus what I tried in the past. Going back, I finally catching up to some of the earlier comments. It's true. I mean, and that's, like I said before, it's difficult to educate people. This is an education process. I can't just throw up a single page unless I make a really long-winded page with a really good video that explains to people the stuff that we've just talked about, which is why I think the webinar format is something that I really need to be doing more of. And what I need to be able to educate people, because there are so many things that just don't make sense right off the bat because they have that bad experience. And so, or they've read, like I said, I mean, I can't tell you how many websites say, don't do contests, they bring you garbage leads. Well, that 100,000 leads for that company that did the Iceland giveaway, I could be willing to bet that the vast majority of those leads are trash. And I suspect, by the way, as a side note, because I like to talk about side notes, I suspect that they used a tool like Gleam, and what they're really talking about is not email addresses that they got, but entries, right? So if one person can earn 5 additional entries for sharing on Facebook and 5 additional entries for sharing on Twitter, like I encourage people to do, that's 10 entries, right? Plus the one they got at the beginning, that's 11. But I only got 1 email address. So I suspect they throw out that big number of 100,000 leads when what they're really talking about is, in their heads, they see entries, and they don't really mean leads. I think they probably got maybe 10,000 or 20,000 leads. So I think their number was inflated, but I didn't try to go through all that explanation to them and try to really understand. I just felt good for them and wished them good luck, right? And he still says periodically to me, he says, Mitch, we still need to talk about doing a contest. Because I think he knows that I do them the right way. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, right? Now I forgot. Oh, I was talking about education. The education side of getting people to understand. And I talk about Monica, who's in the program now, the one that I talked about before that's already said her client has done $2,500 in sales in the first week that her contest has been up. First couple of times I talked to Monica, she was hesitant. She said she believed that contests work, but she wasn't convinced. And she'd had some bad experiences before with a lot of cheating. And frankly, the contest she's doing right now, she had a lot of cheating, and we're working on ways to get less cheating happening. Because and Monica, if you tune in, I still tell you, I think you did it wrong, but she did a most points thing. So the person that gets the most entries, the most points, is going to win the prize. I don't think that's the right way to go in most cases, because it does encourage cheating. It encourages people to do things because they want to be the number 1 person on that list. Now I mean, I could go on and on about a leaderboard or most points campaign. I think they work in many situations, but you have to be really careful. And what I teach is that you actually should have multiple prizes, one of them being a random draw prize and one of them being a most points draw prize, so that you can get both kinds of people when you do a contest. But that's on day 5 of training, so we're jumping way ahead. Anyway, so there's multiple people here. You guys aren't commenting, so I don't know whether I'm telling you something good or bad, other than Sharita's being very kind and Mandy had to leave. So if those of you who are here and have questions, I'm going to try to tune this off after an hour and a half. I love answering questions, so I'm happy to answer questions. If anything that I've said has confused you, happy to answer your questions, but you got to type it in so that I can answer them. The other thing is, if you have been here for a while and you like what I'm doing, would you please share this, or at least talk to somebody that's a friend of yours whom you know is in business and could potentially be interested in what I'm doing. And again, I want to share my message because I believe that I can help many people grow their businesses based on the things that we've talked about for the last hour and a half. And I think I'm finally getting through to Sharita. Bless your heart. She and I have been friends for a while, and she keeps hearing me talk about it. And she keeps coming back, so thank you very much for that. She's doing some great stuff. Sharita, if you want to tell people what you're doing, that would be fantastic. I don't have a problem with you explaining to people what you're doing. If you want to do a little self-promotion, go ahead. She does something, and I haven't seen you do it recently. Maybe you're not doing it recently. Where she would do, like on Fridays, to just do a Zoom call and say, hey, let's work together. Because sometimes working from home, you don't have people to work with. And so she would just do Zoom calls where she would get on and she and I would talk and other people would pop in and out and people were just kind of working together just to have somebody to possibly talk to or throw an idea out or just sit and think. Co-working sessions, thank you. I haven't seen you do one of those recently, or either that or it just doesn't pop up in my feed, but valuable at times just to have somebody. I mean, I have my family here. My wife and my 2 daughters are both now home from college, trying to get out and do what they're going to do. So, sometimes it does get lonely, and I did periodically pop into those co-working sessions and found it valuable. So, nobody's typing in questions. Sharita says, I do keep coming back, and bless you for doing that. It encourages me to talk more. Encourages me to share more. I'm going to be, sometime this week, I'm looking at my messengers to see if I got any feedback from them. I'm going to be doing, a summit recording in the next couple of days with Bob from the 808 podcast. Bob, because 808 looks like Bob. He's a fun guy, a fungi, and I'm going to be doing kind of a webinar kind of a thing with him, and that will be appearing, I think, on April 22nd or 23rd or something like that. Sharita says about the co-working sessions, I took a short break ramping up with the launch of a new channel on Amazon and Roku. Nice. Did you end up getting that, what you call it, TV thing? I can't remember what it's called. My brain's not working. I toyed with the idea of buying that thing, but I didn't buy it. It was a service to get you on Roku and Amazon. Mandy's back. I thought you went to get breakfast, Mandy. Yes, I did. What was it called, Sharita? I've forgotten. Something TV. Something TV. Anyway, I'm curious to see how that works because I was toying with the idea of getting that. Exposure, right? You want exposure. I want to be exposed. Don't say that. If Chad promotes it, so she and I both know it's a guy named Chad, and Chad promoted that TV thing. Is it still exposure? You still haven't told me what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. I just have too many things, and I decided I didn't want to dive into something else. I didn't want to. It's not necessarily a shiny object, but I forgot. Anyway. TV, no, Boss Fire TV, something like that. TV Boss Fire. You're right. Something like that. I met a gal, and now I'm not going to come up with her name either, at one of Chad's events. Man, my brain just can't come up with her name. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. She is doing some amazing stuff. She has one of those new Roku channels, and she just launched it a couple of weeks ago, although she's not using that TV Boss Fire thing. She went through the manual process of creating her own channels. And she is selling that as a service to be able to get you up and running on your own channel. And why am I talking about that? Well, Sharita brought it up, but at the same time, I was thinking about it because I want to be in more places. I want to be getting more exposure because in order to teach what I'm teaching, in order to get more people doing contests, I have to have more exposure, right? I have to be out in more places. And that's why I was toying with the idea of buying that, and I didn't do it, and maybe I should have, just to have it in my back pocket. But I also have a lot of things in my back pocket that I've bought and then never used. So, you know, the shiny object syndrome that we all have to be careful of. Anyway, Mandy said, I had my Melalaka, I don't know how to say that. Melalaka? Luca? FiberWise bar. Never heard of that. I have to look into that. Because I need more fiber because I have developed diverticulitis. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Yes, I know. I throw a lot at you, don't I? I do. I know that. And I appreciate you being here, Mandy. And your first exposure to me is overwhelming. That's probably why Sharita keeps coming back, because it is kind of overwhelmed. I know you spelled it, Mandy, but I just can't pronounce it. This is why your process appeals to me. I'd love to run targeted contests. Your info on the lists really resonates with me. Thank you. That's the whole point. So let me, since you're still here, and you've probably, Sharita, heard me talk about this before, but going back to the word of mouth conversation earlier, right? Referrals matter. People telling other people that they like this product or don't like this product matters, right? Why do you think people go to Amazon and the first thing they do is they scroll to the bottom to see what people have said, the reviews section? Study from 2017 from Wharton School of Business said that people who are referred, people that get a word-of-mouth referral, buy 26% more stuff than people that just come to you through regular marketing. So if you get 2 leads and one of them comes through regular marketing and one of them comes through a referral, which is what we're doing in contests, the person that comes through referral buys 26% more stuff from you. Another study from AppSumo found that people that came through contests bought 55% more stuff from them. So two case studies showed that people who are referred, people that come through contests, are buying more stuff than people that come through regular marketing. So if you spend $1 on Facebook and you spend $1 on a contest, you're going to make 26% more stuff, 55% more stuff if you listen to Amazon. I'm not Amazon, AppSumo, than you would have normally. So why not do this? Huh? Why not do this? I got some more stats for you that I can't come up with automatically out of my head. Something like 95% of people, I'm not going to come up with the right wording on that. I could bring up the PowerPoint that I'm planning on using for my Bob presentation. But, I mean, those two statistics, the referred people spend 26% more dollars. Why wouldn't you be looking for referrals? Why wouldn't you want that word of mouth? And let's suppose that's, in your case, too high, by a factor of 2. Let's suppose it's only 13%. Don't you want 13% more revenue out of every person? I don't know why you wouldn't. Sharita says, this one, I love this one. Wow. Of course. I mean, once you start learning these things, and I'm not just making this stuff up. This comes from studies, and I can show you the links if you want. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. You should have spelled that differently. But yeah, that's why I'm talking about this stuff. I'm not just talking about it because I think it's fun and I'm passionate about it. But the more I learn, the more I'm finding out that it does bring in more money. And that's what we're all after. Because if you have more money, you have more time, right? You have more leisure time, although I don't have that yet. And you have more ability to serve people with the message, like, or, to help them grow their business or to do whatever. Mandy, is that Brad Pitt on the AppSumo YouTube channel? No, I'm talking about AppSumo, AppSumo, not AppSumo. That's funny. AppSumo, AppSumo. They do sales of typically lifetime deals. So, for example, my calendaring system from Book Like a Boss I bought for $49 for a lifetime deal. So I don't have to pay monthly revenue for that. But AppSumo has their own contest tool called KingSumo. So they had the ability in there to study directly the money they spent on marketing for their regular stuff and people that came to them through contests that they ran. So they had the ability to test those side by side and provide some numbers, which is why I used that, because that's verified numbers from one company. Now, I don't claim that is true for every situation. Your mileage may vary. But I think using case studies and examples of things that other people have done is certainly help you understand why people do this and why targeted leads are important. All right, so we're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to cut it off. I think I've talked long enough. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in for so long. I give you 15, 20, 30 seconds to send in your last question or comment. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and asking questions. Mandy, it's nice to meet you. And earlier, Jennifer Lee was on, and Brett was here. Brent. So, Sharita, you're welcome. Happy to be able to help you grow. That's my whole point. I've mentioned that several times. And if you do know somebody that doesn't understand this and would like to know more, please share this with them or share me with them so that I can help them as well. Would be much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to send you out. I don't know why Noah Kagan. Oh, AppSumo, yes. Noah Kagan. He's the guy that runs that. Let's see if I can get Maddie to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never. Never.
Never?
See, that wasn't it. How about this one?
I had a fun time. Now turn that off.